All right, what's up, everybody? This is the Swinging Bull here. Welcome to the stream. Hope everyone had a good day today. Live on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. Guess a good group in the Discord here. What's going on, Tick Breezy? Good to see you, man. So we have SBUX Earnings on deck. They report today. And let's just take a quick peek here. Their data is supposed to come out at 4:05. Okay, there's the regular session closing bell. So regular session officially over. So they report at 4:05 p.m. Eastern. Their forecast EPS is 66 cents. Forecast revenue 9.31 billion. So we'll see how they end up reacting when the data actually comes out. Let's just go back to the sticks real quick. We'll go 1 minute chart. The way we can see exactly what the price is doing here. Got a few minutes to burn. SBUX was trading above their anchored VWAP going into the earnings today. So that's good. We'll see though. MACD is bullish. Let's just take a look at the previous earnings, kind of see how they reacted to those. It's kind of a mixed bag whether they beat EPS or not. You can see the last 10 earnings here on my screen. And you know, they haven't been able to beat EPS since November of 2023. So it's been a while since they actually have beaten EPS forecasts. So we'll see if they can break that trend today. Past two earnings really didn't move much, did it? Last earnings report was October 30th last year, and they basically were flat the next day. Price one day before the earnings, $96.72. And then one day after the announcement, $97.10. So basically flat. July 30th, when they reported, they were a little green the next day, 2.5% around there. Not much though. I mean, just a $2 move. April 30th, they were down quite a bit on that earnings, down 15.8%. We were trading at $86.76 before that earnings, and then one day after, they're all the way down to low 70s. So that actually was quite a move there. But other than that, they kind of tend to not move too much. We'll definitely see what's going on with today's earnings. It's 4:02 p.m. Eastern. Let's go back to the sticks, and we are getting some positive movement. Now this is probably just anticipatory price action. Because I don't think the data's out yet. So we shall see. Let me refresh my other screen and just get ready for this data. As soon as the EPS and revenue comes in, I'll post that for everybody. And then we'll see if there's some guidance. All right, so it's going to be 1 sec here. And just got a few more minutes. Let's take a look at the heat map. Markets did well today. I mean, S&P ended up 0.9%. NASDAQ up 1.59%. Nice recovery on tech. Obviously, NASDAQ is tech heavy, and with the China DeepSeek news reaction, the basically tech sector took a big hit yesterday. But lots of recovery going on. We had quite a few people in the Discord buying the dips with some call options on a lot of the tech stocks. NVIDIA was a good one that a lot of people made money on today. The Dow up 0.3%. VIX retreating. Yesterday, VIX was over 20 because of the DeepSeek China news. Down to 16 now, down 8% today. So, markets are calming down a little bit. 10-year yield, a little bit green, 0.2%. The US dollar up 4%. So, it's nice to see tech recovering. Apple had a nice day today. Still got about 1 more minute before the data comes out for SBUX. You can see Microsoft nice and green. A lot of the big hitters in tech were up today after the selling yesterday. Microsoft up 2.6%, Apple up 3.6%. NVIDIA, nice day by NVIDIA. They get back above 130. Let me see. Here, I'll pull it up over here. NVIDIA, almost. And it looks like they hit 129, 129-ish. But nice recovery on NVIDIA today. Congrats to people who bought calls on NVIDIA once the selling slowed down or stopped from yesterday. Let's go back here to Starbucks. Not really much action. Starbucks closed the regular session at $100.32 a share, up 0.3% on the day. Kind of sloppy price action now. Okay, here we go. Looks like the data's probably out. We are getting a positive reaction. Let's see if this is going to be the real move or not. Sometimes you get a fake out move before it really goes. So far, initial move, Starbucks spike up to 106.50 a share, up 5% in after hours. Let's see if this can hold. Just a 1 minute chart here. Let's see if it ends up being the real move or not. Like I said, sometimes these initial moves are not the real moves. Let me refresh my other screen, see if we got EPS and revenue posted. Okay, let me scroll down a little bit. Okay. All right, it looks like we do got some data here. They got a double beat. So far we got a double beat. EPS came in at 69 cents. Forecast was only 67. Revenue came in 9.4 billion. The forecast for that was 9.3 billion. So yeah, they double beat, but not really by much. Solid revenue nonetheless. Let me post this results on YouTube for everybody. Okay. Should be down there at the bottom of the screen. There we go. So again, EPS came in at 0.69. They beat expectations, 0.67. Revenue, 9.4 billion, beating expectations, 9.3 billion. So they're still green, up 3.4%. So they waked up to 106.50. Now they're at 103.50-ish. Let me see if I can get some guidance or anything like that. All right. So this guy on Twitter was shorting Starbucks. I feel for you, man. I'm not sure if that was a good move. They're shorting something into the earnings. So either long or short. I mean, if you're going to play something through the earnings, for me personally, I mean, I know Yusef on YouTube, overrated coffee. Hey, man, I kind of feel you on that one. I make my coffee at home. But, playing through earnings is risky. It's a coin toss. I don't care what stock it is. If you're going to do it, maybe just make sure it's fun money or maybe use profits from a previous trade. That way you're not stressed out. Over allocating on something through earnings is you're just asking for trouble usually. Every now and then you get lucky, but the market has a way of humbling people, don't it? We got almost 200 people tuning in. From Twitter. I think a lot from the Twitter following. We've got a pretty big presence on Twitter. Let me go back to the comments here. All right. Tick Precy, can we change the opening music to the Rocky Comeback theme song, right? That would be funny. All right, so let's see if Starbucks can hold up. We'll go to Webull real quick. Let me go SBUX on here. I just want to draw a Fibonacci on Starbucks, and looks like I probably have an old one on here from before. It looks like it was way before. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I was doing the retracements from when Starbucks was in the 60s. And looks like they definitely bounced from there. But let me delete this because this is an old one. I just want to get the intraday fib on this. I want to see what this is. Obviously taking a little breather right now, so let me go to fib. I'll just do the bottom of this green candle. I would do the top wick. So it's sitting at 50% retrace from the initial pump. Let's see if buyers step up to the plate. Kind of a sell side imbalance on the order book. Hopefully that flips to buy side soon. Let's take a look. Yeah, it could be coming back down. Look for a bounce around 102. 102 and some change, perhaps. That's the golden fib retracement. Just keep our eye on it here. Now, the expected move coming into this earnings for Friday's expiration was plus or minus $7. So that's the expected move. You know, if it would have stayed up here around 106 and some change, that would have been a clear expected move there, almost $7. Let's see. Let me refresh my other screen and just see if there's any guidance that I can go over with everybody. Okay, not seeing anything yet. Okay, let me just look at this here. A couple notes from the CEO, Brian Nickel. Let's kind of read this real quick. So a statement from the CEO, while we're only 1 quarter into our turnaround, okay, so they're calling this a turnaround, we're moving quickly to act on the Back to Starbucks efforts. I guess they have some marketing plan called Back to Starbucks. We've seen a positive response, said Brian Nickel, chairman and CEO. We believe this is the fundamental change and strategy needed to solve our underlying issues, restore confidence in our brand, and return the business to sustainable long-term growth. So just a few statements from the CEO there. Let's see here. Someone on Twitter, Joe Doe knows. At first glance, these Starbucks results are terrible. I mean, they got a double beat, but like I said, they didn't beat by much. So it's like not anything fantastical that they've done. But let me just look for some more info here. Trend Spider. Okay, they basically posted the same data that I posted. Let's see here. I guess there's a level around 105 to the upside. I'd be looking for that if we get some if we get a upward trend out of this. Look for 105. On the downside, probably around $95. So pretty clear $5 levels, either to the upside or the downside as far as support and resistance, technical analysis wise, you know. Here's a little graphic here I can show for the recording. Again, just going over the EPS, that double beat. Forecast was 0.67 on EPS, came in at 0.69. Revenue, forecast 9.31, and they brought in 9.39, almost 9.4 billion. So double beat there. We move this back over. And let me just see here. All right. So not really anything too exciting going on. It does look like it's trying to bounce here. Again, this is a 1-minute chart. Take it with a grain of salt, but that's really the only data we have to go off of since they just released the earnings, you know, like 5-10 minutes ago. Got some buyers stepping up to the plate. Okay, you've got a buy side imbalance now on this level 2 order book. That's good to see. Buyers are stepping up to the plate. So I don't want to say congratulations to the bulls too soon, right? And just make sure that this thing is, very interesting. It bounced right on this golden fib. That's 61.8% retrace. Keep your eye on that if you're ever drawing out Fibonacci's. It's a good place. We call it the golden fib. Clear bounce on Starbucks at the golden fib. So that's good to see for the bulls. Yusef on YouTube, Snap earnings on February 4th. Buying puts, the stock never goes up on earnings. Yeah, we can take a little peek at it and just kind of see. Let's just take a little peek at Snap. That's going to be an interesting one to see. Good old Snapchat. Let's see. Looks like they do pretty good beating EPS. But, you know, even though they beat the forecast EPS, they can't seem to pull a positive EPS. It's been 10 earnings in a row and they haven't pulled a positive EPS. So, yeah, they're beating forecasts. I suppose their EPS is improving. It's getting closer to the 0 line, right? Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a mixed bag on Snap earnings. Look at that. They're kind of flip-flopping back and forth. The last earnings on October 29th, one day after they released that earnings, they were up almost 16%. The earnings before that on August 1st, they were down 26%. Then the earnings before that on April 25th, they were up 27%. You see a little bit of a trend there, flip-flopping back and forth. February 6th, they reported earnings and were down 34%. So, you know, obviously this thing makes a pretty good move when they do earnings. My opinion about what kind of trade to do through the earnings would be an inverse iron condor, since they usually have double-digit percentage reactions. This might be a good candidate for an inverse iron condor, which is the opposite of a traditional iron condor. Traditional iron condor, you got a credit spread on each side of the price. You're basically trying to trap the underlying price in the middle of your two credit spreads. That's how a regular iron condor works. In inverse iron condor, you have a debit spread on each side of the price. Okay, and we usually deploy those trades, the inverse iron condors, when we're expecting a big move. The risk with the inverse iron condor is we don't want the underlying stock to be flat. Okay, so we don't want it being flat. We want it to make a big move. But the beautiful thing about an inverse iron condor is you can make, you know, whether it goes to the moon or burns to the ground, you can make money on either direction. Again, you just don't want the price staying flat for an inverse iron condor. Okay. Latvian on Discord. You got one March 21st, $15 call for snap, $40 lotto. Hey, I like it. You know, didn't cost a lot of money. It was $40. If that thing plays out and SBUX has one of these green reactions, you know, up 15% or 27%, something like that, that call should pay pretty decent. Just go back to SBUX just for a second. So bounced at the golden fib and now trending up. Still got order book looks a little balanced. Buyers are still kind of winning the fight a little bit. But I just wanted to see snap real quick. That's that's a solid call option, Latvian. A $15 call. Let me go over here. And Snapchat, yeah, they've been up close to 20 before. Oh wow, yeah, they were at $83 back in 2021. Look at that. They've just been trading in a range, basically since the middle of 2022. You know, they're basically just trading between 7 and 18, just bam, bam, kind of ping ponging, right? So Latvian, look, if you bought the call recently, you know, you kind of bought it at the bottom of that range. So even without the earnings, that would be good. I like it. And again, I like how it's cheap and affordable. You're not over allocating on it. It's basically just a scratch off ticket when we play through these earnings. Let's go back to SBUX. Let's see what they're doing. Let me go back intraday here. Oh, okay, Big Quench, the owner of our Discord, he had mentioned it a week ago. Okay, yeah, appreciate the info there, Latvian. Thank you, sir. SBUX holding up. We got more buyers stepping up to the plate here. Let me refresh my other screen. Let's see if I can find some more data we can talk about. It's almost 4:20 p.m. Eastern. Okay, let me just keep scrolling down here. Well, SBUX officially up over 4% in after hours, up about $4.50 a share. Again, they closed the regular session at $100.41 a share. They're trading right around 105 right now. Let's take a look at some other stuff. The chief financial officer of SBUX. We are encouraged by our Q1 results, period. Okay, well, thanks for all the info there, CFO. Oh my God. Let me just look at that. Let me just pull this over real quick and we'll talk about this. Let me see if I can have both of these pulled up here. We keep the price of SBUX. We move that over to the right. And just wanted to read some of this. Okay, let's zoom in on this a little bit. It won't let me zoom in. Oh, well. Okay, so let me see here. Global comparable store sales did decline 4%. driven by a 6% decline in comparable transactions, partially offset by 3% increase in average ticket. So they increased their prices and kind of go hand in hand with the store sales declined. So like, okay, we'll just increase our prices. So kind of a little bit of an offset there, I guess, is one way of looking at it. More commentary and data for Starbucks. North American and U.S. comparable store sales declined 4%, driven by an 8% decline in comparable transactions. Okay, they're kind of repeating themselves there. Yes, we get it. You increased your prices by 4% in average ticket. Okay, gotcha. Now, some interesting data here. And you know, there's a damn Starbucks on every corner now, and they're still opening new stores. So the company opened 377 net new stores in Q1. Ending the period with 40,576 stores. Jesus, you think they got enough locations or what? 53% company operated and 47% licensed. It's probably franchisees. So more than half of the stores are corporate owned. The other half is franchisee. At the end of Q1, stores in the now this is a Q1 fiscal year 2025 result. So let's see here. At the end of Q1, stores in the U.S. and China comprised of 61% of the company's global portfolio. So obviously, U.S. and China Starbucks locations are kind of leading the charge for the company. There's so with 17,049 and 7,685. So there's 17,049 stores in the U.S. and there's 7,685 in China. So about 10,000 more stores, 9 or 10,000 more stores in the U.S. than China. Consolidated net revenues of $9.4 billion were flat to prior year. That's not really good. There's not really much growth with the revenue, is it? They're basically flat compared to the prior year. Operating margin contracted 390 basis points year over year to 11.9%. Primarily driven by deleverage and investments in support of back to Starbucks marketing thing they've been doing, right? I mean, what do you mean back to Starbucks? As far as I know, everyone's still going there. Well, you know, I guess with inflation, not everyone can afford a $10 cup of coffee, right? So maybe that's what they're talking about, is they want to bring people back. People are sick of overpaying for coffee, I guess, but you're still going to have your Starbucks cult following, you know, all your social media influencers. Oh, look, I got my iced coffee. Let's see how many likes I can get, you know. They're going to stay buying Starbucks for their whole life, probably. Earnings per share, 69. That is a decline, 23%. No offense to you social media influencers. I just don't like paying $10 for a cup of coffee. EPS, 69 cents. That being said, I try and go to my local. Hey, man, I love that. Support the local coffee shops. You know, support the smaller ones. I'd rather give my money to a small business than Starbucks, if you know what I mean. So great point, Latvian, and mucho respect for that. Okay, so my point is I'm not really liking the EPS. Declined 23% over prior year. That's not good. So their revenue was flat. EPS shows a decline. Not really seeing much growth there. I think they're trying to get to growth by opening up all these stores, like we were talking about earlier. They opened up 377 new stores in Q1. So they're just targeting sheer volume. You know, they're kind of probably looking at it. The more stores we have, the more revenue, and I guess that's kind of their plan. And then also they increased their prices by 4% to offset the decline in sales. So they're trying to play checkers with the price of the coffee when sales are down. You know, go figure. And these other two statements, I think we already went over. This is a statement from the Chief Financial Officer. We are encouraged by our Q1 results, which demonstrated the effectiveness of our back to Starbucks. Yes, we know, back to Starbucks efforts and strategy, evidenced by our top line trend. And that was Rachel Ruggieri, Chief Financial Officer. Although we are in the beginning chapter and have much more work ahead of us, we will continue to prioritize shareholder value through dividends, providing a predictable return of capital while we turn around our business. So let's take a look here. Key statistics. Okay, Webull saying they pay 2.43% dividend yield. Not bad. Better than zero, I suppose, right? Their PE ratio coming in to the earnings trailing 12 months, 30.36, so nice and positive there. EPS trailing 12 months. And this is annual basis, $3.30. Free float, 1.13 billion. Their ex-div date is February 14th. So for you divvy traders out there, dividend investors, should I say, you're going to need to own shares by February 14th. Usually the actual payout is a few weeks after that. 2-3 weeks after that, probably 2 to 4 weeks after. But you need to own shares by Valentine's Day, okay, to get that dividend. So just wanted to explain that. Just got a few more minutes here. I mean, Starbucks did have an initial positive reaction, pulled back to the golden fib, and came back up, tested 105, got rejected. It's still kind of holding up here, though. This could, if this turns into a higher low, you know, we got the first pull back to the golden fib. It bounced there. Definitely would like to see a bounce like around 103 and some change. If it does hold up here, you know, we'll probably be looking at a higher low, and then maybe we get a trend out of this for the remainder of after hours. And then of course we got the pre-market data. Now, everyone, don't forget, just want to mention, we do have the federal interest rate decision tomorrow afternoon. Let me just scroll in here so everyone can see. Let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, so interest rate decision tomorrow. The actual interest rate data is at 2 p.m. Eastern. And then Papa Powell is doing his press conference at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm actually going to be streaming that live in the Discord for everybody. That's 2:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll see what happens. His last press conference in December didn't go too well, did it? It was a pretty bad reaction the markets had to that last press conference, because in essence, you know, they were before the December meeting, they were predicting 4 or 5 rate cuts for 2025. And in the December press conference, he basically took 2 rate cuts off the table, and the markets reacted negatively to it. You know, that basically means they're a little concerned about inflation coming back. Now, one thing to note, on the last inflation prints that we had for CPI and PPI, they came in line and actually a little cooler than expected. So I was very interested to see the last inflation prints. If those would have came in hot, we'd probably be downtrending in the markets right now. But they came in either at, in line or a little bit cooler. So that, that's a good thing. That, so we'll see how Powell's attitude is tomorrow. Whether he's going to be hawkish or dovish. Last meeting he was hawkish. I'm kind of thinking maybe he's a little dovish tomorrow because of the most recent inflation prints. And of course, they still have their eye on the labor market as well. We get those jolt reports, right? Sometimes can throw a curveball with price action and the indexes. Latvian, cheers, bro. I'll see you later. I'll see you in the Discord. Latvian had to go run. So anyways, yeah, almost 4:30. Let me just real quick show everyone how to get to the conference call with the CEO. And just give me 1 second, and I'll pull that info up and provide a link where everyone, if you want to listen to the CEO, the web call for the earnings, I'll show you how to get there. Let me just pull this over real quick. So very easy. You can literally just Google SBUX Investor Relations. Very first link that pops up. You can probably just click on that if you want. And then you'll get to the page here. Okay. Yes, I agree to cookies. And then here we go right here. You just scroll down a little bit. And what you're looking for is this latest events. Okay. And right underneath that, boom, you got the conference call. Now it's at 2 p.m. Pacific time. Okay. So that's going to be 5 p.m. Eastern. All right. So that's in another 30 minutes. And you're just going to click on this. Let me actually just copy and paste this link, and I'll put this on YouTube. So that way, if anyone wants to join the web call with the CEO, you can join right there. Let me just type this out: web call with CEO at 5 p.m. Eastern. Okay, let me type this out on a notepad real quick. Hold on one sec. Web call with I can't type today. With the SBUX CEO at 5 p.m. Eastern. And then I'll put the link there. And then let me just post this on YouTube for everybody. Copy. Okay, there we go. That looks a little cleaner. All right, so there's your link, okay? And that'll get you to the web call with the CEO. No problems. You got about another 30 minutes. Let's see here. All right, so it looks like we got the reaction. Okay, it's a bullish reaction. It didn't quite fly off the handle like some of the other earnings reactions that we've seen, but it is sitting here in after hours, up $3.40 a share. The regular session at $100.41. Now it's trading at 103.75-ish, around there. It is holding up. I probably want to see 103.50 hold. And if it does hold and buyers start stepping up again, I think we officially will have a higher low here, and we'll see if we get a trend day out of it. Worst case scenario for the bulls, if you're looking at extended hours price action, definitely want this golden fib to hold. It's around 102 and some change, high 102s. We want that to at least hold. Ideally, it makes a higher low where the price is at right now, and we get a nice trend out of it. But yeah, that's all I got for today. I hope y'all enjoyed. My name's The Swinging Bull with PB Alerts. And if anyone's looking for a new home, definitely check out the links in the description. I teach advanced option strategies in the Discord, which is a lot of multi-leg options, lots of spreads, lots of debit spreads, lots of credit spreads. I trade the wheel strategy a ton. It's probably most of my trading is the wheel strategy. I sell lots of cash secured puts and once assigned covered calls, just kind of income, target income, weekly and monthly income, really. But that's been consistent and profitable over the years, is running the wheel on stocks I don't mind owning. Yeah, and Shyamalan on YouTube, I kind of agree. The earnings weren't great. Like it wasn't anything like I say, fantastical and exciting, and we already know their sales were down. So what'd they do? Oh, let's just increase the prices on the cup of coffee, and that'll offset why our sales are down. I think they can be a little more creative than that when it comes to increasing sales. So, they did manage to beat forecasts. But like I said, nothing like crazy exciting with their earnings. I don't see any growth there with revenue or EPS. There is no growth. They had negative growth for the earnings for the EPS, and their negative growth for sales and revenue, they offset by increasing the prices of their coffee. So I don't think that's a good strategy by them. Personally, I think if they made their coffee more affordable, maybe they would have higher sales, and they're just not seeing it like that. So I agree, Shyamalan on YouTube, nothing really too exciting. This move could get faded by the end of the week. It could. But, they're still a very profitable company. You know, they make you know, looks like the past 5 quarters they range from, you know, like 0.75 billion to 1.22 billion. Now that's net income, so that's positive net income. But you know, they're making $9 billion in revenue a quarter. You can see their year over year numbers for the past 3 quarters are not good. There's just no, I don't see any growth. They're trying to tackle growth by opening up new stores and raising the prices. I just, that's not going to work, especially with how inflation's been, you know, the past few years. But a little after 4:30, so I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. And yeah, like I said, if you're looking for a new home, check the links in the description. If you want to get into advanced options like multi-leg options, like I said, I traded a lot of debit spreads, credit spreads. We do condors. We do inverse iron condors. We trade fly. I've done iron flies and regular butterflies, broken wing butterflies, that kind of thing. If you just want to jump straight in and join my coaching group, there's a link in the description. I think it's only 39 bucks a month or something. I'll make that back for you on the first trade, no probs, plus some. Or if you just want to join the free section and see how it is and go from there, you're more than welcome to do that. But let me go ahead and get out of here. It's been nice hanging out with everyone. I do earnings streams every week, so I'll definitely be back next week to do that with everybody. And if you do end up joining our group, our Discord, PB Alerts, I look forward to meeting you. Just tag me in the chat and I'll say hello. But yeah, hope everyone enjoys the rest of their night, and I'll chat with everyone very, very soon. Cheers, y'all. Bye.